Hello, so welcome to the R League channel. So this is my first video that I'm doing. So I'll be bringing you all the latest news from the NRL and the English Super League as well. So if you like any of my videos, I just want you guys to like and subscribe below. I've also set up a Facebook page as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing you all my rugby league knowledge in the coming weeks, months and years hopefully. So I'll start off first and just bring you my predictions and a bit of team news for the NRL round 27. It is the last round of the year for some teams, but some teams will go on and play finals in the coming weeks. But I'll just start off with the first game. So the first game is the Brisbane Broncos against the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp Stadium on Thursday night. So the Broncos will be looking to prove they are premiership contenders. They will be without Adam Reynolds for this one. The Melbourne Storm welcome back Xavier coach Nick Meaney and Josh King and Jerome Hughes as well for this one. So I expect it to be a really, really close game. The Melbourne Storm got absolutely hammered last week at home to the Sydney Roosters, so they'll be looking to bounce back for this one. My prediction for this one, I'm going to go for a 6 points margin win for the Melbourne Storm. I just think that the Melbourne Storm will just be too good on the night for the Brisbane Broncos. But we'll wait and see what happens with this one. But the next game we have is the Manly Seagulls against the New Zealand Warriors. So this is Daly Cherry Evans' last game for Manly. So I expect them to be fired up for this one. The New Zealand Warriors, they're already in the finals, so they might rest a few players for this one, but I'm expecting it to be a close game. I'm going to go for 6 points to Manly Seagulls to send DCE off with a win for them. Right, the next game on the Friday night, South Sydney will be playing Sydney Roosters. So South Sydney have had a shocker of a year. They've had lots of injuries, players playing out of position. The Sydney Roosters, on the other hand, have shocked a lot of people. They thought they'd be probably in the bottom four at the start of the year, but yeah, the Roosters have done well. But yeah, we'll see what happens on Friday night. I think the Rabbits will push them close. I don't think the Roosters will have it all their own way, but the Rabbits do welcome back Cameron Murray for this one, so at least it's a bit of positive news. And also Cody Walker has also signed on for, I think, another couple of years as well, 2 years. So yeah, some positive things coming out of South Sydney finally. So yeah, this one, I still think, I think the Roosters will play well. They're going to be, well, if they win, they'll be in the top 8, so they still have something to play for. But the Rabbits, they don't really have much to play for. They've avoided the wooden spoon, so because they've won the last 3 matches, so that's definitely helped them out. So my prediction, I'm going to go with my head goes for South Sydney. No, sorry, my head goes for South Sydney Roosters, I think. So I'm going to go for 6 point win for the Sydney Roosters, unfortunately, but we'll see how it goes on that one. So next game on Saturday, we have the Dragons against the Penrith Panthers at Wollongong Stadium, at WIN Stadium, in Wollongong. So the Dragons, they don't really have much to play for. It'll be the last game of the year for them. But the Panthers, they've rested at least 10 players last week in their loss to the Canterbury Bulldogs. So they'll be full of beans for this one. They'll be wanting to win going into the finals next week. They'll be wanting to win every single game so they can get to the grand final again and try go for 5 in a row. But it will be a tough ask. But they have got Nathan Cleary and co-captain Ayaze back for this one, so we'll see how we go. My prediction is the Panthers will win this quite comfortably. I'm going to go for a 16-point win for the Panthers for that one. So, and then the next game we have is the Titans versus the West Tigers at Cbus Super Stadium. So the Titans have finished bottom again, similar to South Sydney Rabbitohs. They've had a bit of a shocky year. Des Hasler is finishing up as coach, so this will be his last game. So I think the Titans will be fired up for this one. They'll want to get a win for Desi. The West Tigers, they've had a bit of a mixed year. They've done better considering the last couple of years they've been in the bottom two. So I'm going to go for the Gold Coast to finish 2025 on a high, and I'm going to go for a 6-point win for the Gold Coast Titans at the Seabus Stadium. The Bulldogs against the Sharks, this is going to be absolute cracker, this one. So Cronulla, they've been doing really, really well the last couple of years. They've got some fantastic backs, and Will Kennedy, Ronaldo Mulatalo, and Katoa on the wing as well. So they've got some fast backs. They've got Nico Hines in the half backs position, and Braden Trindle as well. And they've got a really good forward pack this year that's really helping them out as well. So they're playing the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs have been in really good form most parts of the year. They've fallen off a little bit in the last couple of weeks. They did get a win against the Penrith Panthers last week, but the Panthers were had a lot of players rested, so it didn't really tell us much about the Bulldogs. But I think for this one, I'm going to go for the Sharks. I think if the Bulldogs can hold them out for a long period of the game, yeah, I think they've got a chance. But I just fancy the Sharks for this one. I just think they've got threats all over the field, and they can score points from anywhere really. So I'm going to go for a close game. I'm going to go for a 6 points win to the Cronulla Sharks at Core Stadium for this one. Next up, we have the Dolphins against the Raiders. So this one, so last week the Canberra Raiders won the Shield, so they finished top of the NRL Premiership. Not many people would have predicted this at the start of the year. Ricky Stewart's done a great job. He's got some really young, talented rugby league players in his squad, and they've started to really mature. They've got a mixture of their youth and experience in the forwards, so that's really helped the Canberra Raiders out this year. They've been actually really, really enjoyable to watch. I've really enjoyed watching Xavier Savage for the Canberra Raiders as well. Hudson Young as well in the second row. So. And the Dolphins as well, they've done really well. Like, the first part of the year, they were doing well. They were smashing teams and putting a load of points on them. So they're a great team to watch as well. So it will be the Dolphins' last game because they can't make the finals. So look, this one's going to be a close game as well, I reckon. I'm going to go for the Raiders to just win this game by 4 points. But you never know, the Dolphins might surprise you and finish 2025 off year with a bang. So we'll wait and see what happens with this one. Next one, the Eagles against Newcastle Knights. Two teams that have had a bit of a bad year, 2025. Newcastle coach Adam O'Brien's leaving, so this will be his last game. The Eagles, they've had lots of injuries with Mitchell Moses and Dylan Brown in and out of the side throughout the year. But the Eagles have shocked a few teams at home this year, so at Combank Stadium. So this one, I'm going to go for the Eagles to win this one. Because Dylan Brown is his last game as well, actually, because he's actually going to the Newcastle Knights next year as well. So I'm going to go for a 6-point win to the Parramatta Eels in this one. Should be a great game. Both these sides have some want to finish 2025 off year with a bang. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. So also I'll be bringing you my predictions for the Betfred Super League as well shortly as well. So like I said earlier, guys, if you like any of my content, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be doing more and more videos in the next few weeks. And also I've set up my Facebook page, our league channel as well. So get liking with that. So right, we'll move on to the English Super League. I'm just going to grab a drink. So let's start off with the Leeds Rhinos. So they're playing away at Huddersfield, and they've been on a magnificent run recently. So they'll be wanting to try and get the top 4 position. So they've done really, really well. They've got Brett Alpha signed on again for another year. So they'll be playing away at Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium. So I'm gonna, I just think the Rhinos have been too good recently. They beat Hull FC last week quite convincingly. They've won the last 4 matches, and they want to secure the 4th position. So I'm going to back Ryan Hall to score a couple of tries in this game. I'm going to go for an 18-point win for the Rhinos. I just think they'll be too strong for the Huddersfield Giants, who haven't got anything really to play for this year. So I'm going to go for a win for the Rhinos. Next game, we have the Salford against Catalan. So Salford Community Stadium. Salford shocks Warrington last week. So Salford have had a bit of a up and down year as well. But they won't probably avoid the wooden spoon. But I still think they'll push the Catalan Dragons close in this one. Catalans haven't really got anything to play for either, but you just never know. I'm going to go for a 2-point win to the Catalan Dragons in this one. I think Salford will play well. They'll push them close. But we'll see what happens with this one. Right, next up we have, next game in the Betfred Sibling is the Totally Wicked Stadium. We have St Helens against Wigan. So it's a derby game. So these are always feisty affairs. So Saints have won the last 3 out of the 4 matches, so they're in good form. So they will try and want to win and try and get a top 4 position. Wigan, they've been pretty dominant over the last few years in Super League. They've already finished second anyway this year, so they might rest a few players, who knows. But Saints at home, they say never write off the Saints, so I'll go for St Helens to win this one by 2 points. They'll want to keep winning going into the finals, so which starts in a few more weeks in England. So I'm going to go for a St Helens win for that one. All right, who have we got next up? So next we have another derby match. We have Castlewood Tigers against Wakefield at the One Ball Stadium. Castlewood have lost the last 5 matches. The last game win was against Warrington at home back in July. So they've had a torrid season. So I'm expecting them to be fired up for this one. I think Wakefield have done really, really well. They'll want to secure a top 6 spot this weekend, but you just never know when these two play each other. They've had some great games throughout the years. My prediction for this one, right, I think I'm going to go for Wakefield. Wakefield by 6, I think. I think Castlewood will push them all the way. But I think Wakefield will just have enough quality in the end to win that one. So we'll wait and see. I'll be looking forward to watching all the highlights from these games in England. So next up we have Warrington Wolves. So they've had more lows than highs this year. They did go to Wembley, and they played in the Challenge Cup final against Hull KR, where they lost that game in the last minutes. So and they lost last week against Salford, which shocked everybody as well. So I'm expecting the Warrington Wolves to bounce back for this one, but Lee Leopards, they've been another great side over the last couple of years. They've done really, really well. These two met in April, and it was 18 points to 14 to Lee. So I'm expecting a close game. I think a 6 points win for Lee Leopards. They'll want to win this one, and if they beat St Helens next week, they will secure a top 4 position. So they'll be pushing for this one to win this one. So we'll see what happens at the Halliwell Jones Stadium in Warrington. So, and I will finish off with the Betfred Hull FC. Oh, sorry, it's Hull KR versus Hull FC at Craven Park. So Hull KR, they will pretty much seal the League Leaders Shield if they beat Hull FC at home. It's the whole derby, so we never know what's going to happen with this one. Both sides will be fired up, full of emotion. When these two met back in April, it was 14 points win for Hull KR. I think it could be a similar scoreline, points difference in this one. Obviously, Hull FC got absolutely smashed last week at home to Leeds Rhinos as well. So the Hull FC do need a win to keep the top six, the hopes alive, but I just can't see this one, them winning this one. So I'm going to go for a Hull KR win by at least 16 points in this one to seal the League Leaders Shield at Craven Park. But we'll see what happens, and I'll be reviewing all the results from the NRL and the Betfred Super League in the coming days. Anyway, so we'll see if any of my predictions come true. We'll see what happens, but yeah. And also we've got, it's 50 days until the Australia versus England. England versus Australia, sorry, at Wembley Stadium. So we'll probably I'm going to be giving away a England Rugby League shirt and an Australian Rugby League shirt as well for this one in the coming weeks. All you got to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page and make a comment and just put your name and just put Australia if you want an Australian Rugby League shirt, or put England next to your name if you want an England Rugby League shirt. I'm sure there'll be a bit of a mixed bag people watching this, so that should be very interesting. I think because Australia obviously got Billy Walters as the new Kangaroos coach. Sean Wayne has always been a great coach. I think this the first game will be a really good test for England to see where they're at. But we'll see what happens with that in the weeks to come. I'll bring you some news from both sides, from both camps, before the first test. So we'll see what happens with that. Right, I'll finish up for today. So thanks for joining me. If you are watching in England, then the results would be final already. So we'll see what happens with my predictions from that point of view. But yeah, thanks for joining. Subscribe to the R League channel and my Facebook page. Thanks for your time. See you next time. Thanks, guys.